Hello, I'm Eric Mattson, the CEO of Finovate, and I'm very excited to be kicking off my card's innovation interviews here at our 7th annual FinovateFall. Here's what the innovators are saying about the future of FinTech.
I think that in 10 to 20 years, we can allow ourselves to dream a little bit, and I believe that different areas of one's life will be interconnected. So it won't just be me dealing with my financial matters and me dealing with my social life, but it will all be intertwined. So imagine a world where my bank also understands who my friends are, and it knows what my financial relationships are with those friends, and it knows, for example, where I go to school or where I work or where I live. And so it's able to actually tailor its offer to me based on all of this information.
I think trust and reputation drives financial products and financial innovation, and the ability to actually pay based on my face and identify myself based on who I am and my connections in the social network. I think those are some of the factors that are going to drive some FinTech.
Well, I can see doing those big, large financial transactions in a much shorter period of time and basically having it all be online. So even though you're doing something that's really high valued and maybe very expensive or a large transaction for somebody, it can all be completed completely online in a very safe and secure way.
In terms of money, I see that everything is going to be scheduled in details. So since now I can only plan, or I can only approximate how much money I'm going to have and how much I'm going to spend for something. Whereas in the future, I foresee that will be in detail scheduled like 20, 30 years in advance.
It has to be simple, 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 and everywhere, because there's no time. There's no time for anything. There's a lot of them are doing multitudes of multitasking, and it's going to be technology that's literally probably inside of you, whether it's a watch or part of some glassware or something you do, and you're going to be able to use speech recognition to file through your accounts and make decisions on the go.
Sure. I still think it'll be generally tied to that integrity of the identity and the security of that user. I think it's just what the iteration of that technology looks like. Now and for the next 5 years, we're going to rely on mobile devices, but they'll be more phone-oriented. So it's what can your smartphone do for you. But as these things start to move forward, is it more of a wearable technology and less of a computer in your pocket, but maybe more of a computer on your face, a computer on your wrist? And how do those things help define the characteristics of your specific identity?
Well, I think we're losing cash. I think that with the shift to electronic and all electronic data, mobile payments are definitely a trend we see. In areas that we are focused on, it's really about automating content that comes into the banks to prove who you are, prove the information that you're submitting to them is valid, basically making the mobile device your customer service representative.
I don't know if you've gone into an Apple store lately where when you want to transact, they've got a handheld and they can all take all of your information, and it all happens in the cloud, and all the data goes into your automatically in the background. Well, I think that in the future, you won't even need that handheld. It'll be you walk in, you talk to the person, or you walk up to the counter and you explain to them what you want, and instantly everything will be facilitated because they'll know who you are just by the device in your pocket. You'll have some sort of credential to give them to authorize the payment, and whatever the payment and the transaction is will happen in the background.
I think in 20 years it'll probably be a bio-based authentication, right? So something based on biochemistry or something related to the human themselves in terms of authentication.
I think over the next 10 to 20 years, and hopefully sooner, you're going to see a new world where you can, everyone's investing profile will be as unique as their DNA, and you'll be able to put ideas, put investing to work with little cost. Imagine a world where there is a no-fee 401k plan where you can program it pretty straightforward and actually put ideas to work in that plan without actually having to worry about it.
I think artificial intelligence will be the next big thing, where the system learns your behavior, learns how you think, how you manage your family, and it automatically manages your finances for you based off your behavioral patterns, and it adjusts as you move on in life.
I think what we will see is a changing landscape of financial services in general. I don't think banks will exist in the same way that we know of them today. I think they'll probably still have a role to play, but they'll probably end up becoming more of a back-end system as opposed to the core brand that consumers are used to interacting with today.
Invisible money, right? This is the way I kind of conceptualize it. all the fiat money has to go away, the kind of currency that we use today, like things like Bitcoin coming in. But in the future, I think even that has to go really invisible. So let's all watch out for that.
So right now we're dealing with issues of people living on $2 per day around the world and just trying to get by. I think as you start seeing greater trade between the US and China and the rise of a lot of emerging market countries, this sense of the quality of life improving will also happen around the world. So I'm really excited to see how sort of well-being and having the average person actually have a good life will spread to many countries where people have just been struggling for so long. So I think it's going to start in many developed countries, but as computing power goes down, access to great advice, access to high quality life is going to increase around the world.
What do you think the next big trend is FinTech is going to be? Tweet your ideas at #FinovateFuture and see what others are saying as well.